Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So basically I'm just filming an introduction in my home because the rest is going to be done in the salon, and you can't hear me talk because there's too much background noise, there's hair dryers going on. Although I'm at home, you may hear some sirens or a train or a plane or whatever. Like, I'm really sorry. I've tried to film this about a million times, but the background noise keeps changing. So yeah, so I'm just here in my living room in front of my sofa. So basically I'm going to talk to you about the product that we're using today. We are going to be using Goldfever hair extensions, which are these. This is 22 inches and this is colour 61. So basically, I really love using Goldfever hair extensions because firstly they're ethically sourced. They come from religious temples in India where whole families go and they will sacrifice their hair for their religion, and they believe that their gods will reward them with like health and happiness. And they used to make curtains and rugs out of this hair, which obviously it's a flammable substance, so it's quite, you know, it's probably not the best thing to make out of them. But so we've gone in and we're like, we will buy it from you, and we ship it to Italy where it gets coloured for 21 days to keep the cuticle intact. So you know what it's like if you bleach hair darker than mine to something this light and this long, for it to still stay solid and healthy looking is pretty good going. So basically, another reason I really like Goldfever is because they're double drawn. Now I've had other brands approach me about using their hair extensions, but I've got them to send me samples, and normally what happens is there's not enough hair in the bond, and what happens then is, like, they are cheaper, but they've been like, oh, you can buy more extensions because we're cheaper, but then that means more bond in your hair, which means less comfort. So I just don't, honestly, these are the best brands I have found so far. So basically, they're double drawn, so that means that the root is as thick as the end. So I'm just going to show you a little, just shake it out a little bit so that I'm not hiding any of these hairs. See, look, there they are. Right, so we have got 5, 6, so this is a bunch of 40 bonds, and there's like 6 hairs that have come loose. So percentage wise, that's pretty amazing. Like, it means that I can give a client a haircut that I want to, not just have the ends like fading out to nothing and then the client being like, oh thanks, it's really full here but there's nothing here. So this keeps the hair full all the way down. So to make sure you're getting authentic Goldfever hair, you will receive one of these when you go in the salon to get it done. This is a scroll which will tell you where your hair's from. For me, using something that's ethically sourced is really important, which is why I won't ever deal in Russian hair. Because although everyone's like, Russian hair's amazing, it's really soft and straight and smooth, I'm like, whether that be true or not, like, where's it from in Russia? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what brand do you know that says, oh, our hair's from this? Like, you know, India has these temples and they're sacrificing their hair for their religion anyway. So, you know, we're paying, the money that we give them keeps their temples open. In Russia, I'm not really sure how it works. I'm not saying it's all, there's none ethically sourced, but I yet haven't found a company. So when you're at home, anyway, after having your extensions done, you will receive an aftercare booklet. Make sure you take this home, make sure you read it. Stylist, make sure you give it to your clients because it has all the hints and tips like how to sleep, how often you should brush your hair. Like, I will run through some of these in the video as I'm doing the extensions and talk to you. So the only thing that you will need to buy, sulfate-free shampoo for sure. Conditioner-wise, I normally find any works as long as you don't put it on the bonds. You need to make sure you buy one of these brushes. These brushes, sorry, upside down. These brushes are so good for extensions, and anyone actually. So anyone that needs a good hairbrush. It's not a blow drying brush. I've had clients blow dry it with it, like my brush has melted. It's not for blow drying your hair. It is just to brush your hair through. So these long bonds, these long bristles go in between the bonds. So basically, as you glide this over, this brush is designed that these short ones brush the top of the bond and these long ones go in between to get any of your natural shedded hair and brush that free to stop that from matting. Brushing is so important with hair extensions. Twice a day minimum. Really dig the brush in. I've had clients that haven't and they've been like, I'm scared I'm going to pull them out. Your extensions with Goldfever are not going anywhere. You have to come and have them removed after 4 months. Like, they're literally, they don't fall out. I mean, sometimes your first set, I have clients be like, oh, I lost 1 or 2, but mostly that's from grabbing them in the hair straighteners, grabbing them in the tongs, like putting too much conditioner on the bonds, and like too much protein can break these down, but again, that's what your Aftercare booklet is for. So you're going to see me in the video use one of these guards. I just want to show you, I'm going to talk about it, but my hands are all over the place in the video, so just to show you clearly, this top line here, this tells you where your section is sitting on the head. This bottom line here, this is showing you where your bond should sit on the extension while this guard is in. So it's just like a guide so that it's far enough down that it moves freely, but it's close enough that it's not going to grow out too fast. So professionals, we need this. Okay, so that's all. I'm not going to talk for too long because this video is quite long. I tried to cut it down as short as I can, but I feel like I want to show everything. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't do anything. No thumbs downs, please. If you want to subscribe for any more videos in the future, I'll be doing quick styling. They're all going to be this long. This one, extensions are quite technical, so it had to be a longer video, but I will do some quick styles and how-tos, and any other questions, let me know. Hope you guys enjoy. Thank you. So our first job is to cut the extensions into the size bond that we need. Because Nicola has a lot of hair, I'm going to use full bonds all the way through the back. The sides and hairlines will have half bonds, which I will show you later on. Make sure you're leaving enough of a gap in between each bond, so that hairs inside the towel do not cross over. If you do cross these over, what's going to happen is when you start pulling them through, you're going to create a tangled mess. Now once this is done, roll them up nice and tight. Make sure it's as firm as you can possibly get it so the bonds don't move around. I seal mine with a hairband so I can move the towels around the salon and they'll be fine. Now after shampooing with the Goldfever cleansing shampoo and using no conditioner or products, we're going to rough dry off our client's hair, and I'm going to smooth out the root with a brush. Take a while to get your sections neat, as any stray hairs may cause crosshairs, which will increase the risk of matting. Now I'm going in with my straighteners and smoothing everything down. This will keep everything nice and sleek, and it will make it a lot easier for you to pick up your extension sections. Now as I'm working through with these sections, I'm taking weight for weight with natural hair and extension hair. This is what the hair can handle. If I take too little natural hair and too much extension hair, you can cause tension alopecia. As you can see from Nicola's scalp, Goldfever have not caused any tension alopecia. Her hair is super healthy, they're so kind to the hair, they're literally the best extensions I've ever used. As you can see, I just keep repeating the same technique, applying full bonds all through the back. The only time I change this is around the hairline, where we'll put one individual half bond. If your hair's finer, we will do two of them. On my next section, I'm going to take a finer piece of hair. This is a half bond that sits around the hairline. You can see that I leave the last inch of natural hair free, so you can tie your hair up and you won't see any bonds. Now you can see why I put a hairband around each towel. It keeps it intact and stops it from moving about. Now you can see around the hairline at the front of the head, I'm taking smaller sections. This is because I'm only going to be using half bonds. This will give your client a lot more natural movement. It will also make it easier to tie up without the risk of seeing the bonds. Only the bottom side of the Goldfever applicator heats up. This is why I keep tapping the top to spread the bond so I can roll it into the natural hair. Now here from the side profile, you can clearly see that the top line of my guard is matching up the section I have taken. Now when I place the bottom one on, once my client keeps her head still, you can see that the top of the bond will line up with the bottom line on the extension guard. This line is here to guide you as to how far away your extension bond should sit from the scalp. This allows the extension to move freely like your natural hair. It also doesn't cause any discomfort to the client. Now when cutting, make sure you're clear about where your client wants it to sit. I always take off a little less than they say to start with because you can't stick it back on unless you've got another 4 hours. Before cutting, I get my client to stand up, come behind my seat. I also get them to put their hands on the back of my chair. This anchors them and stops them from swaying while I'm cutting. Now as I'm coming around to the side, you'll be able to see that I'm point cutting everything, keeping it really soft and textured. We don't want any blunt lines of extensions, it will just make them look unnatural. Now when it comes to the sides, I'll always slice through from the natural hair down to the length. You need to do this to blend in the natural hair. If not, you're going to get a disconnection. Now with the layers, I know this is going to look unnatural, but trust me, it works. I hold my section with my hands the opposite way to what I'd normally cut at graduation. Then flip it over, find where the natural hair starts and slice through to the length. I'm going to show you a few times, pause the video, slow it down, whatever you find easier. I promise this is better than just slicing into the hair. You get more of a structure of the layers, it's good for bouncy blow dries, it really helps the hair to look natural. I guarantee every single time you do extensions, at the end of it your client's going to be prepping up her makeup, getting her lip gloss on. They make people feel fabulous and they want to look amazing for that after picture. Always be cautious around the sides. Slice the hair very lightly. There's less hair here, you used half bond extensions, you need to be really careful with them. Once you've done, give it a good shake. Make sure the hair moves freely, look natural, and that you cannot see any lines or breaks between the natural hair and the extensions. I normally like to tong the hair afterwards. This is because I always think it takes a couple of washes for extensions to settle in. So my first client's blow dry is always on me. They come in, I wash their hair, I teach them how to brush it through and dry it properly so we don't get any problems at home. Just bear in mind when having extensions that you can't wash them for 8 hours after their first application. This is because the bonds need to set. If you wash them too soon, the bonds could weaken, they could wear a lot faster, and it's really not worth it. Also, when sleeping with extensions, especially when they're fresh, I would say put your hair in a low ponytail. This will keep the bonds nice and flat when you sleep and stop any irritation at night. After you've tonged through, get the Goldfever brush. This is designed to be pushed into the bonds. Do not be scared of it. You want to get in there, you want to push it right into the bonds. This gets rid of any stray hairs, any cross hairs, stops any matting. Give it a really good shake out, and voila, done. Doesn't Nicola's hair look amazing? Thank you for watching my first video. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.